Okay, first things first, just to be clear, the image that you're seeing on the video is in fact not Grand Theft Auto 6 footage, but Dragon Age Inquisition. I am not using Grand Theft Auto 6 footage because that copyright strike shit is a mother. And no. But yes, a lot of people have been able to use clips and stuff like that, but I'm just not gonna get into it. Hell, I tried to do a nice little thing with the Sinners movie. Too much drama for your mama. So I ain't at that point yet, but bear with me, all right. But I am going to talk about Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, for the most part, I saw the new trailer, pleasantly surprised. Um, Hopefully, all of that stuff works in tandem with how GTA 5 worked with their cutscenes and everything. You know how it's like it was damn near seamless, how you could just go from one to another. If anything, I would love if Rockstar would learn a goddamn lesson and allow you to skip those ridiculous conversations that happen while the game is loading up whatever thing it wants you to do when you're driving places. Good lord, it was so annoying for like Red Dead Redemption 2 and like every other Grand Theft Auto that exists when you would do that, you know. And it was like they would give you two different lines of dialogue and stuff like that, but it's like it it was the same as the Assassin's Creed little trailing mission thing, where it's like, yeah, you're doing the escort thing, but it's just taking forever. Stupid shit. I'm getting off track. Tangents, whatever. So the new trailer dropped. A lot of people talked about it. A lot of people are liking it. The game's obviously going to do big. Wouldn't be surprised if the price of the game at the bare minimum is at least $100. If not, I can see them making the game. Well, supposedly speculation is that the single player game is going to be one price, but playing the game online is going to be a whole nother price. Which, boy, for any of you people indulging in that, that's for your ass right there. But again, even that is less of a thing to talk about. The main thing that I wanted to talk about, because I wondered if anyone noticed, was that they changed up the focus on the trailer. If you notice, for a good while, the marketing for Grand Theft Auto 6 has always pivoted towards the female counterpart. Now, the game is supposedly the game is supposedly going to have you play as a Bonnie and Clyde type duo. You got a feel for that in the new trailer as well, where you're going to be a boyfriend girlfriend. Which was cool to me was the fact that the girlfriend was actually the one getting out of prison, and boyfriend just trying to live a life waiting on her, and then essentially, yeah, much like Grand Theft Auto fashion, shit get out of hand because you start from humble beginnings and then you just escalate some shit. So hey, cool. Yeah, like that actually was something I enjoyed. But what was interesting is that, again, the marketing for the game at first always pivoted towards the female. Hell, when they showed their very first little demo of the strip club, it was you playing as the female character walking through the strip club. Remember that? But all of a sudden, for this trailer, they actually released everything focused on the guy. Now, that's the interesting and crazy part, because a lot of people are speculating, or you should possibly speculate, does this mean that GTA 6 is going to be woke in if for any way to like fashion that correctly? Is the game going to be woke? Is the game going to focus more on the female character than it is the male character? Is that going to be a problem going in? Because Rockstar has done a lot of things recently, whether it's been in-house or in their other games, where they have leaned a lot towards the whole mindset of DEI shit, or sweet baby type things, where it's like, hey, girl power. They've done that. there's proof of them doing that. They've done that in a lot of their other in some stuff. But now that they actually focus the trailer for the game focusing more on the boyfriend, is that a cause for celebration in the fact of where you would think that, hey, maybe this GTA is not going to go that route. Maybe this GTA is going to be far more grounded. Just having that element, and it's like, yeah, all right, you got a couple, you're playing as a couple now, but considering everything else that Grand Theft Auto was known for, it still just allows that to just, that's just really the only aspect. And it's just that so happened the marketing towards earlier versions or earlier aspects of the game that they wanted to promote just revolved around the female character to give people a feel and an understanding that she is going to play a major part in the game. Or is it that the main focus of the game is going to revolve around the female character and the boyfriend is just kind of along for the ride? I mean, in earlier depictions of the stuff, like, you barely saw the guy, like, at all. There was a bunch of clips when they did like their little cut up of different shit of Florida that they were going to do for Vice City in like the very first trailer. There were a bunch of shots where it was like, oh, that's the girlfriend, and then you just barely saw the boyfriend. But it's like in this trailer, to start day damn one, they immediately shot and showed the boyfriend. So that's something to speculate and talk about. Now, here's the tricky part. Is this all smoke and mirrors? Is this a good old rug pull, a good old what is it? Let's say natural selection. Jesus Christ. A good old, I'm blanking on the words. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's late. Is it a trick? Are they showing us a lot more things involving the boyfriend this time because of the fact that a lot of people pointed out exactly how much it focused on the female element? Yes, this is going to be the first time you play as a female character in a Grand Theft Auto game. Sure, whatever. All right, that's a whatever. But also you get to play as the boyfriend. So again, upon them saying that, it wasn't really that big of a deal. It's just more so I understood that you probably aren't going to maybe allow like for the sex stuff, picking up hookers and things like that. Possibly. That's a big possibility. Don't know. Just don't know, don't really care. But it is a cause for concern, considering that is a staple of Grand Theft Auto. But with the couple element, would that also incline it to essentially play like with the Red Dead games, where both, like with John Marston, you would literally go to saloons where there's whores and nothing would happen. But it's a Rockstar game. But it's like with John Marston, it's like, well, he was already married and very much in love with his wife. And it's like, oh, okay. Then you let go of that. But then in Red Dead Redemption 2, you're literally with a gang of outlaws that travel with girls that they have as prostitutes. But the main character does nothing. Why is that? It's like, this is supposed to be based on a Western where you could be either a good guy or a bad guy in your choices. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe because Rockstar start getting woke. Who knows? We're never getting another bully. But it's something to think about in whether or not the tactics for this trailer that they released, having the boyfriend at the forefront, showing ass, like it was showing some ass, showing grinding and things like that, that maybe, this game is still going to be that good old Grand Theft Auto that everybody knows and loves, and it's still going to be exactly the same, despite the fact that a majority of people who worked for Rockstar have already left. A majority of people who wrote for the Grand Theft Auto games have left. A majority of people that have been behind a lot of the major interesting factoids about Rockstar, whether it be the lore, the characters, the concept, or just basic writing stuff in general. Hell, one of the bigger names would be Laszlo, and his last game was Grand Theft Auto 5, and even how Grand Theft Auto 5 got rid of him was a perfect way of exiting his character but he should not appear again. Like he's not supposedly gonna appear again. But that dude is responsible for writing a bulk of what makes Grand Theft Auto Grand Theft Auto. So with that being said, with the fact that essentially this trailer focused more on the boyfriend than it did the girlfriend, as well as showing you more of the nightlife, butts and shit like that, and tits and everything, that things that people want to see within the Grand Theft Auto game, the things that guys just genuinely like in video games, period, is all of that just being showcased in these trailers because of the fact that they know that it would get people to essentially not think about Rockstar doing anything that would jeopardize the sales in any way, shape, or form. Because even though it is GTA, even though it is definitely going to break ridiculous, it's going to break records and it's going to be something ridiculous, even though if the sales are hindered at any point in time simply because of just the slightest thing, would that not be something that they could easily try to not let happen? You know, and it was like, hey, we want to make sure we squeeze out as much money as possible. Cool. Anything that could hinder that, let's fucking get rid of it. Because the stuff that's currently going on with gaming now, you can see a dip in sales. And I would rather remove that dip entirely than to basically go, we don't want your money. You don't have to buy it if you don't like it. Bullshit. You know, just get that out of the way right now. So, would that be, is that what this trailer is trying to do? It's like, it's the ultimate question when it comes to this game, because it's something to ponder, you know. And it was like, is the game gonna hold up as an actual good game despite all of the different big named people at Rockstar that are no longer there? And also, is it going to be a good game despite Rockstar having a tendency to deal with a lot of its DEI woke bullshit, that nonsense that it kind of cultivated over the years? Because it's been a long fucking time since the last Grand Theft Auto game, and there's nothing but hype behind this game, but the stuff that they've shown us has been very minuscule. So the overall gameplay can't really speak for itself. Yet there's so many, well, not so many, but it's just there's huge questions hanging over the head of this game as to to determine whether it's going to make it or break it for a lot of people, considering the current gaming sphere. Too many games have came out that have been shit, just straight up dog shit, regardless of the hype. Cyberpunk, perfect example. Regardless of the hype, regardless of what they've shown us, regardless of what they keep telling us, and the game has just been utter dog shit, just simply because of just lack of trying and whatnot. But that was just in the final stretches of the game or whatever. But remember, this game, the trailer, well, this trailer dropped with a pushback date. The game was supposed to come out this year. They pushed the date back. So again, that doesn't really bode well if everything is supposed to be in working order. If all things are considered and you're not supposed to have a shredded doubt in your mind that this Grand Theft Auto was going to be the best Grand Theft Auto. Them pushing back a date raises eyebrows. It's something to question. It's not bad, not at all. When the game, like, again, when the game drops, the game's going to drop. PSN is going to fucking crash. I'll tell you that right now. Jesus Christ. But it's just like, there is a cause for questions, you know, like a cause for concern. Like, just pause what you're doing, take a minute to think about what's happening. I would say I would perfectly be fine with just waiting until damn near a day or 2 days after the game first drops, getting some insight behind people playthroughs and whatnot, looking to see what gameplay of the game actually looks like, what all might be there, what all might not be there, considering how GTA functions in general. Waiting a good little minute before the game comes out, it that honestly would probably be better than getting it outright as soon as it drops. Who knows? You know, like, maybe getting a day damn one is the best option. Maybe that'd be perfect. I don't know. The notion of FOMO does not exist for me anymore, but it is still something to ponder because of what Rockstar has done in the past, what they've been about, what they've stated, and this has been them despite all of their previous people leaving. So it's like, all right, this is the action Rockstar started to take after a lot of these other names are gone. And now with the game dropping and the trailer that we got and the culture climate that Rockstar is kind of predicating towards, what does that mean for this game? And it's like, well, the first couple of trailers that we got, it seemed that they were just very female heavy and female focused. It just seemed like the girl was just the main character and you barely got anything for the guy. But this one trailer comes out, shows a lot for the guy. And it's like, okay, all right. So, and like it doesn't make you go, oh, so it's just like, okay, so it is going to mainly focus on the guy. You just got this girl around or whatever, because that's what this trailer made it feel like she was taking the backseat behind shit that he wanted to do. But the original trailer made it seem like she was the one calling the shots. Who knows? And again, I think that's the main focus, is that at the end of the day, drinking in everything that they've done so far, it's a big ass question mark. Who knows what the hell they're going to do with this game? Who knows what they're going to do with the story or with the characters or whatnot? But I'm not going to be dumb enough to just give these people a ridiculous amount of money for a game that might turn out to be a ridiculous fucking game. So to me, the cause of concern, if what I'm talking about is something that you would be concerned about, then yes, giving the game some time to breathe so you can basically get some people get the feel and talk about the game, and you're hearing the chatter and whatnot, and whether or not it's something that's like, all right, I'm for it or against it, then yeah, then be like me and think that way. Give it some time to breathe. But if you just, gung-ho regardless, whatever, definitely if you're suffering from FOMO, hey, do whatever. I don't care. I'm not stopping you. But I'm just saying, if you're questioning some of the things Rockstar is doing, you're kind of on the fence about even buying this game outright as soon as it drops, I'm just saying that there's nothing wrong with taking a minute to when it comes out, taking a minute, letting it breathe to ascertain what you want to do. Because yeah, according to the marketing, the things that they've doing, bait and switch, that's what it is. It felt, a lot of what they did by showing the boyfriend over the girlfriend feels kind of like a bait and switch, considering that the previous promotion has focused mainly on the girl. And that is something that people need to think about. And it's like, all right, is it a bait and switch? Or did we just have the game fucked up? Maybe they were just trying to promote the girl because they thought that was a smart thing to do. It's not, because gamers are mostly dudes, but still, maybe that's just what they were trying to do. But it's like, people have been combing through these goddamn trailers, tooth and comb. So, so it's just that there's a cause for concern. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Not saying anything is bad, not saying anything is good. I'm just saying there's a cause for concern, because if you remember what they did before, you remembered what they've been about, and you remember what it is that they're currently doing or what they're supposedly trying to sell you, what does that say? And that's all I got to talk about. That's all I want to talk about. Just wanted to get that out there. This has been another episode of Flame. I've been your Danieltheflame. As always, good people. Hope you have fun.